All right. Let's give it a shot now. Two live streams. What the hell is happening? Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Any difference, idea maker? Let's give it a shot now. All right, so I just stopped streaming and started again. I don't know. I don't genuinely know what the hell is happening with Twitch, but it's yeah. Let me know if it happens again, please. It's just frustrating. No one can stop us, not even Twitch. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, that's what it is. Let me know if it happens again. Let me try one thing. I just wanna play with this now a bit. You mean, do I have to make it as a pop-up, or what is the what are you asking? Like, no, it doesn't have to be, right? I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to not kind of add an element to the actual page so the UI doesn't move and stuff like that, right? But I'm just trying to make it, you know, unique in some way, right? But no, it doesn't have to be an overlay. No, for sure not, right? I mean, make sure, Stefan, if you're following the Richards book, to actually you have to code along. It's not a reading type of book, right? You have to code along. Right? So don't forget to do that, right? Because it's imperative that, you know, it's kind of meaningless if you don't code along and do the exercises and stuff, right? So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Ah, got it. All right, fair enough. That's not quite what I wanted. All right. What do you think, idea? I mean, share a thought, right? You don't really send a thought, right? I mean, if we are to stay with the concept of a thought, right? You don't really send a thought, right? I don't know. I guess, right? Yeah, right. I don't know. I feel that share is kind of more. I don't know. I just feel share might be better. I don't know. I might be wrong, right? Yeah, right. Give me a moment. Yeah. All right. Cool. What do you mean? Which button? No, no, it's not. No, it's not. And I mean, we can have it maybe. Yeah, I mean, we can maybe have it in the nav bar, right? So maybe we can kind of have it here, right? Like, because right now the button is not is part of the feed, right? Maybe. Yeah. We should try that for sure. Let's try it. So if we go to the nav bar, right? And we go to. Yeah. I kind of removed that now, right? So that button for the article was just removed like a second ago. Um, Accidentally. Let's kind of put it back, right? Well, no, actually, this was it, right? Let's kind of do this. Yeah, we'll see now, right? Most likely, right? Yeah, I kind of messed up this last night. Thing is, right? Actually, I think it's fine for this fella to actually be here, right? Shit. Then if we get rid of this, yeah, we'll see. Like we have to kind of, oops. So it's maybe fine that it's localized to the like the thing is, right, like user experience and UI is always about the intent and what your desired. Understand what I want to say? It really boils down to how you want to guide the user to use your product. If I put this new thought button here, then I am ensuring that every time somebody wants to write something, they'll have to come here. That means that then they will maybe read something as well, right? Well, no, you don't. Not quite, no. But I get what you mean. You're maybe right due to consistency, right? Because now there's this button here that actually now is broken. Let's fix that, because that's the regression from, like, let's see. Yeah, so let's kind of grab the old stuff from before. Why is it like, what did we break? Yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing is, it's kind of, it does make sense to try to associate those two things, right? But they're not quite the same, right? Like this new thought is probably something that one is more common gonna yeah, exactly. That's literally, you just wrote right before I said it. This isn't the sort of a thing, right, that I just feel like when you're in this context, you're reading a lot of stuff and commenting and stuff, but articles are more and I think actually, yeah, now we're kind of in a way breaking the editor because of this toolbar stuff. So let's go here, let's go. Yeah, I think so. I agree. We'll do that in a second. So basically here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so let's see. So filter block. Yeah, it's exploding because of this, right? Yeah. So this is kind of now we're kind of in a zone where we have to like make our editor a bit yeah. Yeah. What? Oh yeah, so we've kind of messed up the editor, but we didn't mess it up, we just had to. So let's go over here. So due to this toolbar items, we kind of now crippled it a bit to say, right? So let's kind of make that smarter. So let's create a utility here. Let's call it Yeah, so essentially let's do something like this just for now, and then we can break that down later. But basically what we have to do is but then here we say if no toolbar items, or actually no, let's say if array dot is array toolbar items turn true, right? Then we should turn that into an actual just utility, but doesn't matter, right? So now we should be good, and we should kind of be good here as well, yeah. And then back here we should still see that. Okay, cool. All right. Then as you said, once you start scrolling, you kind of let's try to see if this is sufficient. I don't think it is, but let's see. And then yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, right, I think I agree with you. I think that both of the tabs should also be sticky, but then I don't want to do that now. I don't want to do it like that, because this thing here is going to be this infinite scroll anyway, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing is, right, so let's not lose our mind over it. So let's kind of, we wanted to finalize just creating a new thought, right? Because so those lists are not going to scroll like this, right? This is going to be like an infinite scroll. So, and also right, like, yeah, so you'll basically always see this button. So let's actually try to play a bit with that now as well, right? React infinite. I know that there's that super popular kind of plugin, right? That's like incredibly, yeah, this one, right? This is kind of something we need for both of those kind of lists. Well, for let's just say for all of the lists in the project, right? Why is this pinned? So that's kind of what we need here, right? Because I don't want to do this. I don't want people to be, and then we need pagination with it as well and stuff like that, right? It's just, yeah. I might have this installed already. Did I? Yeah, I did. And we actually, what is this? Infinite scroll spinner. Yeah. Am I actually using this somewhere? No. Okay, let's try to use it, right? How do we use it? Yeah, and then we have the items, right? Okay, let's try that, right? With those lists, let's play with it a bit. So let's go to those specific tabs. So let's start with the actual thoughts, right? So here I should be able to kind of say, right? Infinite scroll, right? Let's see, what is it complaining about? So yeah, it's kind of failing. Let's see why. All right. So what it doesn't like, I think, is the actual children that we gave it, which is this. Let's see the usage here. Yeah, so maybe it doesn't like the fact that we're returning a component here, right? So let's just let's literally use this stuff that they have, even though that doesn't quite make much sense, to be honest. But so we'll loop through this stuff, right? And then we'll return this. Obviously, we're not going to be using index or whatever. This is just temporary, right? No, okay, so no, it still doesn't still doesn't like it. So what are we passing that it doesn't like? Items, messages, yeah. Get page has more. But let's just do something like this. So let's give it has more, just true. Get page. Let's just say that it's a function that prints whatever, something, just to make sure that we give it sufficient props and kind of ensure that it doesn't break because of those. Okay, it doesn't. So it doesn't basically, fine. So it's not really expecting children at all. So you know, yeah, so that's for sure. This isn't like, I don't think this was my yeah, I didn't finalize this implementation. That's the thing, right? So no, it's fine, it's fine. So we basically need children over here, right? And that's what we kind of, I believe, failed at now, right? And then yeah, exactly, right? Now, yeah, let's kind of let's revert this stuff and have our own component and stuff, right? Yeah. See what happens now. So yeah, so we do kind of have the infinite scroll, but we need that infinite scroll window. I don't remember the name of that library, but let's actually see. I believe that they have it here. Docs, live examples. Yeah, maybe. No, this is, what was it? React visualized, something like this. I don't remember. Yeah, React visualized. I believe it was this thing that's gonna help us in conjunction with this thing, so we get that proper. They have like demos and stuff. Demo. Auto sizer. So I think scroll sync table window scroller. This is kind of what we need approximately, right? Something like that. Yeah, auto sizer, right? Components. Source documentation. Let's see. Yeah, let's try this, right? So let's try this, and then potentially we can turn this into a component that we can reuse as such. And then Yeah, I think this is pretty much kind of what we want and to end up with, right? So we'll need this at multiple places, but we need this list to be dynamically kind of we need the height to be dynamically calculated for us depending on the screen size and stuff, and then you want to be scrolling basically that indefinitely until there's no more stuff to scroll through, right? So that's going to be one of the very important features for the whole project, basically, pretty much. Yeah, React window infinite, yeah. So something like this, right? But I don't want to be setting static height, so this kind of has a static height, right? Yeah, this is, screw this, no. So is there a way to use this? Where's the author sizer? Yeah, this guy, right? This would be cool too. So how do I maybe the indentation, author sizer, yeah. Yeah, I think this is kind of what we need, right? This might be what we need. Let's see. React visualized auto, yeah. React infinite scroll components. No, so it seems that we need two different dependencies, right? So those two, right? So this is pretty much all more or less what we need, right? Literally, like let's actually, I'm literally gonna try to turn this fella. But this guy, and then this guy, right? Those are all the ones that we need to accomplish this, right? Let's take a look at that. And we'll literally just inject them there as such, and then we'll solve this. We don't actually import any styles. Let's kind of nuke that. Yeah. We are we? Yeah, it's a default export. So some list, let's just call it like that. And let's just literally do this. And then yeah, not super fun, is it? But it's necessary, so that's what it is. That's how it is. No, so we're not actually getting anything, are we? No. How was it used here? Index, app, my list, right? With the difference that they had some CSS here, if I recall, right? Yeah, Pretty much, yeah. So they have a list wrapper somewhere. All right, so there's a parent. There's a parent that has to be width of one. Okay, so let's kind of try that. Yeah, there we go, right? I think this is pretty cool, right? And then of course you can see that there is a bit of a scroll and it shouldn't be. But this is kind of the idea, right? And then of course we have to scroll our own content and stuff, right? Yeah, so let's try that now. Let's try to... all right. Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting one, I think, also for tomorrow, because there's a lot of stuff we have to do here. And the most kind of annoying thing is gonna be this scroll here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think about it a bit. And also, I think I made a mistake possibly here. This should be maybe full, right? 100%, yeah. And it doesn't like that, does it? Because if I take a look at their example here, if we go to actually, do we have some, like, I think I have some, yeah, index, right? So if I go over here and do this, is it gonna make any difference to this guy now? Not really, right? Okay. So we go back here and set it to the, so the screen basically, so H screen is basically the viewport, right? VH, view height, right? So in a way it makes sense that we have this scroll now because it's taking this whole, so this is now the height we're setting to this guy. And it really should be, it really should be the 100% and not the view height, right? If I go back to this example again, yeah, there is a slight, they have a slight vertical scroll bar, the second one as well. Or maybe we could build this library ourselves for our own use case. Maybe we could build this, something like this for ourselves. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just like, it is a bit boring, but we will need this. So what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna leave that there because we will need it. It's just like, I believe one mistake we made, right? We slightly shifted away from the thing that we wanted to do, and that's kind of dangerous. And the thing that we wanted to do basically was just to finalize this thing, right? Just adding a thought. So should have just went that path. It's fine, right? The thing is, right? So when I talk about the scrolling now, it's not really strictly related to this task, right? Like, we need that generally, right? And we need that to be really, really good. Like, because generally we'll need, generally we'll need infinite scroll, and like this is kind of ancient. You don't want to do this, right? You kind of want to have some UI, and only reason why also dislike this button being here is just because it takes space, right? Because basically I would like this to be always kind of on the top for now. I don't know, and maybe this new. So let me try one thing while we're here on the feed, right? So let's go to, yeah, either in the nav bar, right? Yeah, exactly, right. Either in the nav bar or or maybe, yeah, probably in the nav bar, right? Just try to do the better drop down. Let's kind of research here for a second. Tailwind. Let's go to tailwind drop down. It's just I dislike our drop down, maybe because we also don't have any icons or anything, right? Maybe it would make it more fun. I actually like this thing, the last one. I like this one because I also like this. I think we should add this. And then maybe it's just, where do we put it, right? Like, where do we want to put those actions is the question, right? It's now kind of a bit frustrating in a way, or not frustrating, a bit annoying, right? Because it's more of a now figuring out where to put that stuff, right? Yeah, maybe the plus, right? And then you invoke, let's maybe try with that plus again, right? I think that makes sense, right? So actually, if let's just discard those things. So let me just do one thing. So let's just discard those changes, right? And then take a look at it again. So here's the plus, right? Let's just maybe try to improve that instead, right? So this thing is gonna be whatever for the user, and then this is gonna be for creating stuff, new whatever, right? New article, new message. So actually, if we go to navbar, just gonna create just say article, and then thought. Well, I mean, the thing is, right, for the article, right, this is gonna take you to the actual, because this kind of to the /right, right? Yeah, if there's something for Twitch, let me know, and I'm super happy to add it. And then let's get over here. Let's kind of provide an icon here, component itself, right? Let's say brain. And I mean, I can just provide it like this, right? And then let's do, well, it should be brained here. Let's just say here article. Actually, it's not gonna be like this, I think, but doesn't matter. Let's see, icon. What? I mean, I'm just trying to be as minimalistic as possible. You're already clicking on plus, so it indicates you're creating something new, right? I'm not sure if we need to say new article, new. Maybe we do, right? I don't know. We probably do, right? We probably do, right? Just kind of seeing how it looks like, right? Just playing with it for a second. Let's see. Nah. I don't know. For some reason, it just doesn't. Yeah. Or let's try that as well, like you said. New article. New thought. I mean, it's not that bad anymore, I guess. Yeah, I think it's kind of make it less boring with those icons, right? At links, I think so, at least, right? Yeah, I mean, so we're gonna kind of nuke the one on the feed now. It's just because we want to kind of utilize the space better, right? So, because it's kind of a shame to kind of pollute the feed itself that's supposed to be clean, and that's what our intention is, right? It's kind of, it would be a shame to have a button that takes so much space just so it's a button, right? Because, you know, you're gonna be reading this 95% of the time, or 90% of the time, right? So you don't wanna have an element like that always in your face, right? I guess, right? And yeah, this is then gonna, yeah. So now in a way you can kind of, yeah. Exactly, right? I mean, that's what this boils down to, right? When you're designing it, you have to do that, right? Yeah, so this is actually pretty fine. I'm actually okay with this now. let me just try one more thing. If we go to the nav bar here. And very good point. I'm gonna do that in a second. Okay, never mind. This is too much. Absolutely good point. Good point, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Because that's kind of more probably common that's gonna happen than the other one, right? Yeah, let me just try this 600. Then maybe, just maybe. Probably it's not gonna look great, but let's try it out. Yeah, maybe the brain, right? Oh my god, look who is here. Good evening, Barcode, my friend. How you doing? Very good point also for the icon, yes. Let's go over here and instead of the comment, let's say brain. Good man, good, just cracking at it. A bit slow today because, well, not slow, it's just kinda, it's when it comes to UX and UI, you just have to experiment with it as you know yourself as good as I do. So it's just a matter of, yeah, figuring out the I actually like the brain more, to be frank with you. I feel that it's very geeky and very techy, right? I feel that the comment is very... I feel that the comment is a bit less unique, right? Let's maybe leave it like this, let's sleep over it, and then maybe I'm gonna agree with you on that one tomorrow. I just feel that this somehow... why do you hate your UI, Barcode? What's happening? It does. It does. It does make sense, man. Absolutely. But on the other hand, why is that? Are things slow for some reason? Did you identify why is that happening? You have no placeholders, okay. So yeah, I get it. You feel that it's, yeah, I get it. You feel that maybe it could feel more, yeah, I get what you mean. Like those transitions indeed add a bit of more natural feel to the page. No more natural, literally, even in the context of, yeah, exactly. But because nothing, you know, the reason why those transitions are important from the UX perspective is because they make the tech products like this feel more fluid to the real world. Like nothing in the real world just happens instantly. Like it's always something like, and then it happens, right? Give me a second to close the window. I mean, honestly, like, dude, like, don't think too much about it, right? Like, what I would advise you to do is wait until you have an idea, right? Wait until you have an idea, right? And then you're gonna solve it. Yeah, of course, man. Of course, dude. can do anything, man. All right, let me kind of give you feedback right away. Ah, okay, got it, got it. Honestly, man, I think you're being too critical and stuff. So, no, I think this looks very nice, man. It's very hard to. I mean, it's consistent, right? So, yeah, man, I think it's consistent, right? And that's the most important part. No matter how your design is, because everything is subjective and it's relative to the one who looks at it, right? I mean, it's definitely follows some guidelines. So you're not using 6 different buttons and stuff like that. So that's already good. Now. So for example, you probably want to give this page a bit more love, right? Because you want to make money, right? There's not much to say that I dislike per se, right? But you just need to give it a bit more love. For example, I know that if you could find some PNGs that don't have those backgrounds, it would look a lot cooler and stuff like that, right? But overall, it seems, I mean, the thing is, it seems that you have a pretty good product that you've built, but you're not conveying that in here. Like, I mean, you see, those are pretty huge numbers that are shown, right? Whatever, like, stuff. It's just like, you have to convey that better. Well, I guess this would be something to kind of expand a bit more on, right? Sure. Like you have to find. So basically, you have to so when you're selling something, right, like this, you have to start with the problem, right? Like right now, like you're obviously saying stuff, right? Like, hey, you can connect and interact with communities, la 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 la, right? But you want to kind of think about the wording of hey, what is this about? Hey customer, you have some problem, right? Hey customer, you maybe have your Discord channel, nobody can find it, I can help you do that, right? So that should be, so it's more about how you convey the message, right? You're probably kind of conveying that already through this, right? But it's all about how you, it's really a game of words, right? You have to, like, hey, you have a problem and I have this and I can solve it for you, right? Because it's really, it's like, that's like I don't think, honestly, so I think a night or two ago, let me tell you one thing. I need to start making those clips because I still suck at this Twitch thing. But let me tell you one thing. So you have to understand maybe one or two things. So no user or customer of yours, whatever, looks at your product the way that you do, right? Not even remotely. You have to remember that. So all of this perfectionist stuff that you want to do, we should always, of course, try for perfection. But what you, Tesla, thank you so much for following. So thank you very much, man. Your customers don't care. No, it's not that they don't care. Like, let me tell you one story. So I said it a couple of streams ago. So a couple of years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, I worked for a company called Airtime, right? So I worked here, right? And we've been building, and they're still building it, this streaming device. It's like Chromecast, but for business. So basically, you plug this thing into a TV, and then you install an app on any platform: iOS, Android, Mac OS, Linux, Windows, Chrome OS. And then without any cables in a company, you connect to the network and you share the screen to it, right? And for a couple of years, me working there, I thought that I'm solving the most important problem in the world. Like, yeah. And the way that I looked at this product that we've been building was entirely out of connection with the actual user. So when I actually started seeing the customers, how they use this product, they don't care, man. Like it's like, hey, how can I share the screen? Oh, okay, I click here. Okay, I install this app. They do that. They spend 20 minutes in a meeting and they leave, and then they do a million other tasks they have for that day. You get what I mean, right? But by no means I'm saying, hey, you should not crave for perfection. You should just, I'm saying, don't let it get to you too much, because no users of yours actually care much. I think main thing that I would give you feedback on is to try to convey better, even better, to say how to the users, when I come here, you grab my attention, right? So here's the, hey customer, you have a problem and I have a solution, and this is how we solve it, and this is what you get out of it. So this is kind of very simple way to, right, and then you can, right, so this is pretty much what you have to do. It seems that you, I can't decipher a bunch of those numbers you have here, but it seems there's a bunch of traction in this thing. It seems there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of those servers and stuff. So you clearly have something to offer. It's so instead of losing too much mind over if your site loads in 1 second or 200 milliseconds, yeah, I mean, it's insane, man. So don't you said one thing is like, hey, this is my hobby project and I'm not so much into business, and that is the hardest thing of all, right? Because the project itself is great, but the business part is what you should focus on. I think you already have the product. I wouldn't spend more time. I would now spend time on, okay, how do I convey the message? How do I make sure that users who come here actually get that message, that they know what this is about? So don't worry, again, users are, especially of this kind, they're not going to care if your site loaded in 200 milliseconds or 600, even though of course you should strive for that. But I don't think that's the resources or your time resource, aka time of yours, that you want to spend that on, right? That's kind of just my $15, right? Everything seems to be working. I mean, it's a very good website. It's a very nice site. I mean, of course, you can go to any website. When I release Programmer Network, I'm sure you'll be able to go and find some things which aren't perfect, right? So you cannot just, it's very hard, especially since you're just like with this network, you're coding stuff on your own. So it's not, Yeah, sure. How do I log in? What is the... Shit, I don't even know. Damn. Login with QR code. Okay, let me try that. Let me try that. Let me open up my phone. Where is the QR code on this stuff? Ah, okay, maybe join server. No. How do I do it on my phone, dude? Oh, I think I found it. I think I found it. Yeah, I think I found it. Scan QR code. Wait. Are you trying to log in on the computer? Log me in. It's not gonna be red. I just want to try one thing. So just another hint, right? So please take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm just trying to be useful as much as possible. So everything I say, feel free to discard it if it doesn't make sense. So when you're composing kind of copy, always try to be as short as possible. So for example, here you do not have any servers added to this post yet. Please visit the add server page and follow the steps. So you don't need in order to do so, right? Again, those are very, I mean, I'm being picky because yeah, you asked me to, right? But again, take it with a cautious, because I'm just trying to. So well, you can just say you do not have any servers added yet. It's clear that, in my opinion, it's you're referring to this. You can say this, but you don't have any servers added yet. Please visit the server page to invite this bot, right? So you can literally say something like, you don't have like literally like you do not have any servers added yet. Please visit the so something like that, right? You could technically shorten it. Anyway, I'm not gonna do just, you get what I mean. Just removing any sort of stuff just is better. I'm actually gonna sit tomorrow and fill this in, because I actually this is useful for us, for this community here as well. So that's really good. I'm actually gonna do this. But dude, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty impressed. Generally, I think it's a very nice stuff. I mean, nah, dude, that's the beauty, man, of meeting people and helping each other. It's like, of course, man. I mean, you help me, I help you. That's how it should be, right? But seriously, man, like, and I'm saying I'm always being completely honest. It's a really great job. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, and it's honestly, I'm very hard to get impressed by design. So, like most of the stuff I dislike. So, and I like this a lot. It's very little to kind of say. There's some tiny deal, like this shadow, for example. This shadow here is kind of a bit maybe too much. The sidebar one, I would maybe reduce it just a bit. This form that I just saw was pretty amazing. I mean, this thing is super cool, like super nice, very smooth. Yeah, I mean, technically, like, could you add an animation? Maybe, but honestly, like, it's already really good. Like, Yeah, yeah, super good. I mean, sure, like you're right. Like you can technically, well, add an animation, yeah, but it's it's not that it's almost irrelevant, right? I think the fact how you lay out things, how you compose those questions, a lot of those things are often kind of those are the way more important things, like how, you know, when I come here, how easy it is for me to understand what you mean and stuff. Select your server, great, I selected, you know. So basically, I think, so essentially, I think one thing that I have to say is that you are a technical person, right? And I can read a lot of technical vocabulary here, right? In order to provide a backup invite URL when a system cannot create one of you should provide a separate. You have to be careful about, I mean, keep in mind that a lot of kids, a lot of gamers who have absolutely zero knowledge of any of those terms might come here, right? So try to dumbify it, even if they weren't, even if, like, generally when you're building products, you want them to be as stupid as possible, right? Literally, exactly. Don't overcomplicate, because I can kind of read myself writing this, right? Because you are writing it from a, as you know. And then also, yeah, these details like this, make sure that your links, you know, are any color, just not white, because, or, you know, just an indicator that people can. But overall, yeah, I mean, if I would say any anything, any comments I have is mainly just, yeah, nice, great. So yeah, just simplify the wording, dumbify it to the maximum possible amount you can, right? Nice. Nice. Yeah, dude, but I can see that a lot of effort has been put into this. It's very nice, man. It's very nice. It really is. So you're missing a 0 here. Most likely, I think you would want to have a 0. I don't know. Or remove the slash, right? Or, well, you can't, so... yeah. And honestly, okay, so now those comments are making are personal, so take them. This editor would look better if it's just on plain background, if it's not floating, but that's just me. Overall, I mean, not much to say, really. It's really good. You definitely know what you're doing. There's no question about that. Just, yeah, go through the wording, try to dumbify it, and think about how to convey what you are actually have built really well on your homepage, right? And don't worry about those transitions and stuff like that, because you definitely do. Because keep in mind, I mean, honestly, when I go to some gamer channel on Twitch, I literally cannot watch it for 3 seconds, because it's so childish. Even guys older than me using this acronyms, then copium, hopium, and shit like that. I cannot read that for 3 seconds. I just have to leave. I feel like I'm in kindergarten and stuff. So you have to expect that your audience is going to be like that, right, most of the time. And it's just as it is. I'm not actually criticizing. I'm just stating, I believe, what's in most circumstances obvious, right? It's just like, yeah. But that's pretty much, I think, it. Overall, great job, man. Just yeah, try to sell it more. You've spent a lot of time onto this. It works great. Try to add some case studies, you know. My pleasure, dude. My pleasure. Really. Nothing to... Amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff. You should, man. You should. I think it's again, it's that professional deformation. Always kind of, always just keep in mind that people who come to your site, they'll want to do that quickly and they'll want to solve that specific problem. Again, saying it's not that you shouldn't care, you should, but they will not be looking for inconsistencies in the UI as I did or whatever, right? So, and honestly, most of those people, most of your audience there, yeah, I mean, most of those customers who join, most of them have zero sense for design anyway, right? So again, but that shouldn't be an excuse. 100% agree. Shouldn't be an excuse at all. And I'm spending a lot of time on making things nice. But in a way, I'm kind of... The audience to this network is going to be, I believe, slightly different. And many developers are going to... I feel, at least, that's my assumption. Many of them are gonna kind of know what design is, and maybe they will appreciate it, maybe not, I don't know. I certainly do as a persona of that group, or to say, you know, as a developer itself. We'll see, right? All right, so I think this actually looks fine now. And if I would maybe add icons to those guys as well. I mean, yeah, the thing is, yeah, it would be, again, I noticed it because you told me about it. If you didn't tell me about it, maybe I wouldn't notice it, right? But the only thing that I noticed, yeah, and again, probably because I was told, is that, yeah, when you click next, it just, like, it doesn't kind of, there's no, like, a slide transition or something. No, not at all, man. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant, right? I mean, irrelevant. It's a tiny detail that most people are not gonna see, right? So, I mean, yeah. Exactly. Maybe, right? Let me go to our linear board. Let's go to our projects road to MVP. Need this thing. I love it. I generally feel great about that whole project. It looks and feels great, honestly. Not much more to say. It generally just feels pretty solid. My most honest opinion. Yeah, maybe that's why I like it. Maybe it's very similar, I guess. Sure, man. Absolutely, Tony. Let's take a look at it for a second. And good to see you here, man. I can see you're the first time here, I believe. Yeah. Thanks for coming, man, and I appreciate it. Wow, this is a pretty cool little, pretty awesome. All right. So I can see, for example, that you're using Flex, right? And now you're having a problem. So if you have used Grid, right, CSS Grid, you wouldn't have had this problem, right? Now, because of this, because you're using probably Justify Between or something like that, you're now having this issue, right? Because it's trying to fill in the space. Because those two movies should kind of be ending here, right? So essentially, in a nutshell, right, so if you use Grid for this, I think it could maybe work out better. Next thing is, it seems that those thumbnails or whatever you call them aren't actually the same size. You can easily fix this and just use object fit or something like that, right? Just use object fit and it just fit the images. I think I mean, it's very hard to notice that, but I can see that they're slightly different size. At least it seems like that to me. Nice, it's responsive. Okay. All right, let's go next. Okay, you can click on one. Got it. So there's two aspects when I look at this. There's the design aspect, and then there's the UX UI aspect. So from the UX perspective, from the UI perspective, or from the perspective of how things look like, I think they look amazing for the most part. Of course, you want those things again to be aligned always, and I think you're having a flex issue here. And then yeah, like. Maybe you could reduce the size between them a bit, and then you could fit more of them. I don't know. I feel there's a lot of kind of gap in between them, so I would reduce the gap. So I like this view. I mean, it's as Netflix and those services, so that's solid. That's nice, right? All right, I guess. Okay. I don't know if you've connected this. Ah, you did. Okay. So what you could do here, what you could do here to kind of make this more reactive is you could just exactly. So what idea basically said. So what you want to do here is you want to so you want to debounce, right? So you obviously want to wait like, I don't know, 500 milliseconds when user stops writing. So I don't know, this is the first random stuff I found on Google. Yeah, you want to use two-way data binding, right? And you want to use the debounce, right? So this is the first thing I just found for you. So, but you want to use the debounce, right? Debounce is basically a way to defer or delay the execution of something, right? So for example, when you don't want to call some action as soon as user presses a key, because that would be too annoying. So for example, here, if I type solo or SOL and I don't type anything for 300 milliseconds or whatever, then it already kind of shows stuff. So you want to kind of don't want to make it instant. Well, you can technically make it instant if you fetch a list to your UI and then you locally search. But if your search works with the API, then that's very expensive, because for every key press you would do an HTTP call, and you don't want to do that. That's why the debounce is usually useful also in those circumstances where sometimes you have a live search, but you're hitting your API something with the query parameters. In those circumstances, you want to wait until the user finishes for, I don't know, literally those are fractions of a second, and then so that's why, right? Yeah. And then, yeah, if I go to a single movie view here, right? The only thing that I can say is that you haven't really used the space maybe in a way that, so for example, this could have been all, so this information here and those boxes could have been maybe put in a slightly smaller list. And again, this is now a trade-off of the looks, but also of the experience as well, right? So, right, you can technically, you see that, for example, if I want to read this information, I have to scroll now, and you can really put this in a single view that user can see already, right? and then this is this where it's. So for example, I find this to be super useful, right? For example, I think it's really cool that I can see, hey, where can I watch this movie? Well, if you have Netflix or Disney, right? So this I find the most. Sometimes I literally go to Google to see where I can watch something, right? So maybe yeah, think how you organize, like maybe like this video probably should be here, right? Because probably like what would a person be the most interested in when they come to this page? Well, where can I watch this? Is there a trailer? Right, you wouldn't. I mean, think about it, right? It's a movie, right? It's a visual thing. It's something you want to watch. You don't care who the director is. I don't think once in my lifetime for 33 years I read who the writers are and directors. I mean, honestly, I don't care, and probably most people don't, right? So think about it in general when you do UX and UI. What is the most important? So what would be something that a user cares about the most, right, when they visit? So this is fine. Put a video somewhere around here. Aggregate this thing into simple list. So when I look at it with my eye, I can, right, I don't need to scroll or whatever. And that's it. I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty unique. I love the gradients, whatever, shadows and stuff. Pretty cool. I love this logo. It's really nice. That's it. That's all I gotta say, man. I think that's all I gotta say. And yeah, I would agree with that as well. A bit more contrast on that single view would definitely be useful. My pleasure, man. Don't forget to give me a follow, okay? I have to remind people to do this every now and then. Thank you, man. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Whenever you need some suggestions, pass by. Happy to have a chat. All right, so what is the time? The time is almost 2 a.m. All right. Do you think that is a resume? I think so, Tony. Right? I think so. I think it is definitely. I think for sure. I mean, it's a great question because you are the second person today who came here to ask the same thing, pretty much. Absolutely right. Always, I mean, like, remember this advice for the rest of your career. I think it's going to be probably the most important one. Your job is to make all of us, we work specific jobs, but our end goal and our focus should always be making something that customers love. So never forget this, right? Like, oftentimes, especially as you grow in your career as a software engineer, you're going to be talking about frameworks, you know, complexity, tools and stuff like that. And for the time being, especially in your junior time, you're going to be obsessing by which tool you use and stuff. But as you grow in seniority in the industry, you're going to be understanding that our job is really to make things that people love to use and things that solve their problems. So as you grow as a professional, you'll be appreciating more and more the efforts into making something that customers love, and you're going to be obsessing less with code and frameworks and stuff. So the reason why I'm saying this is because think about that project that you just showed me that we reviewed as something that you're making for other users. So you have to have the empathy for that, right? So already now, while you're at the stage where you are, try to have empathy and understand always that a good developer, a good software engineer can only be the one who cares about the customer. So you can, you know, sit and learn 7 million languages, tools, nobody cares. If you don't really care about the product of your work, you'll never be good or great, because you're as good as the product of your work. Everything else is irrelevant, right? So keep that in mind, and always try to think logically, especially when we talk about front end. Always try to think about, does this make sense with people like this? Is this simple enough? What about people with, I don't know, disabilities? What about this and that? Try to have empathy for those sorts of things, because simple products are the best products, right? That's what people buy, and that's the golden rule. So this is kind of my feedback. So absolutely, man, just build up empathy. Understand that you're not building things for yourself, you're building them for others, and that's it. That's how it is. Yeah, it was a long one. It was a long one. Well, guys, I think it's time we sleep. It's 2 a.m. almost. We're gonna continue hacking this out tomorrow, and yeah, kind of making the so a few things for tomorrow basically. So we need to, yeah. So let me just round up the day. So tomorrow we'll make sure that you can create a thought through the UI, and then we'll probably start adding the comments to those things as well, so you can comment on one, but probably not tomorrow. So tomorrow basically creating it and then finalizing or actually starting and finalizing the infinite scroll and stuff like that, because this is a bit this is not, or at least so it's a kind of multi-variablic problem. We need an infinite scroll, but we also need pagination, and we also need the auto resizer, so it's responsive based on resolution. So it's a pretty complex one, to be honest. It's a pretty complex one, but I think we should be able to do it. Well, Idea Maker, Barcode, and all the rest of you guys, it's been good seeing you, spending time with you tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of the day or evening, whatever. And thank you so much as always.